All right, welcome to another restoration. Oh my God, I'm having delusions of grandeur. All right, we're gonna try to fix another antique perfume bottle, and I found this one on, of all places, Poshmark, and I've never ordered from Poshmark before. Where's the Poshmark box? Damn it, there's like so many boxes all over. All right, Poshmark it is. Let's get the damn, oh my God, my Coca-Cola. I'm sorry, I'm very thirsty. Okay, yeah. Let's do this in fast motion. They better pray it's not broken. We'll have a beep fest right now. Okay. Oh, wow. All right. It's not broken. Thank Jesus. Now, it was $15 or $16. $16. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, she doesn't know what it is. It's a Wave Crest or CF Monroe / Mount Washington Aladdin bottle. Aladdin, but it's missing the damn bulb. They're always missing the damn bulb. So it's going to be a big issue. I'm not a restorationist genius. I never took a certification in restoration. I intuitively try to fix these bottles. Now, it has no markings, but it is, I don't know if you can see that. Oh, it's like an opalescent glass. And they thought this was porcelain. A lot of sellers think these are porcelain. And but Wave Crest or CF Monroe / Mount Washington glass perfume bottles are rare, boys and girls. You find a lot of like powder boxes and bonbon boxes and lamps and like those gone with the wind type lamps and stuff like that. But you rarely ever find their perfume bottles. And so we're going to have to try to add a bulb onto this. Now, do I need it to work? The answer is no. I just want a damn bulb on it to complete the look. This won't work. This is off a 1920s perfume bottle. This is definitely not going to work. Where do you get the parts? I'm going to tell you right now. Your SOL, if you try to get replacement atomizer parts, they're not out there, boys and girls. You have to go on Amazon and or go on eBay or some other online website and try to find parts from bottles that you wouldn't want to add to your collection. Like a $20 1920s or 1900 or 1890s bottle that's sort of broken that you can probably get for $20-30 just to get parts. And they're not always the parts that fit, so you're sort of screwed. All right, I'm trying to come up with bright ideas, and the problem is that the little circle in here is so big. There's no like conventional screw that I have on any of my perfume bottles that's going to fit into this. So I found this, I don't know what you call this. Guys out there, you're probably not watching this. Some kind of dry, what is that, like an anchor? Oh, I mean, I could probably glue an atomizer on here, a bulb. But maybe I could put a hole in the atomizer, screw this in, and that little piece that sticks out, I could stick this in here. But this might be too wide. There's always something with these damn things. All right, so I got my Amazon. This is the only way I can really get cheap replacements for $10 or less. Amazon bulbs. These like stupid cheap Chinese perfume bottles always have these really nice atomizer bulbs. But the problem is that if I take this piece off, this might fray. And what color? Let's see. Let's take, beep, 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 I have to bleep that out. All right, let's take this and see if the color is going to go. Will the color go? Oh, wait. Let's turn it this way. Okay, hold on. All right. I mean, black pretty much matches everything because I'm wearing it right now. But let's see if this gold color goes better. Actually, this gold color. All right, blonde or black because we got this little plastic piece. It's probably going to work if I put the glue over there. It'll probably still work. Black or blonde. Well, they say blondes do have more fun, and I'm definitely not a blonde. But all right, let's go ahead and do this. All right, when you're working with a glue gun, you got to work really fast. Otherwise, you're pretty screwed. So I'm applying glue right now as we speak. Oh, God, I just ran out of glue. I'll be right back. Oh, God, I got like a split second. A split second. Get in there. Get in there. I'm just going to hold it because you don't want it crooked, right? You don't want it crooked. And I'm just going to hold it in place for as long as I can without, oh, my God, my hands are not steady at all. And let's see. Did we really make this? Oh, God, glue leaked out. Well, shut the front door. All right, a little glue. I mean, I might be able to get it off, but, oh, what a bummer. I mean, it's invisible, but it's not invisible to me. I have OCD-ish type of tendencies. We did it. Well, I did it. And, yeah, it actually works. Air comes out of it, and I cleaned it. So we got CF. Mount Washington bought out CF Monroe, so it's either or. And it's highly collectible glass. Look at this beautiful iris. I don't know if you can see that. Has gold gilding, and it's lovely. It's quite lovely. Now, when was this made? Probably about the 1890s. So this is a very, very old perfume bottle, especially when you see the Aladdin top or the genie top. You know it's definitely old. And I'm so excited that I only got this for $16. Something like this is worth anywhere between $395 to $500 because it is a rare CF Monroe Wave Crest / Mount Washington glass perfume bottle. You rarely ever see them. And a lot of people attribute them incorrectly to other glass makers, or they'll say it's a French or Bohemian 1920s bottle, but it's really not. It's a Victorian bottle. Really quite cool. All right, so let's go ahead and I'm going to show you some other ones that you'll see that are not perfume bottles. There might be 2 or 3 or 4 that you can find on the internet for sale, but pretty much people keep hanging on to these ones. They really don't let them go when they have them in their collection because they're so rare. You barely ever see the perfume bottles. You'll see the vanity sets and the vanity trays and the vanity bottles that would hold powder in them, but you don't see perfume really. All right. Oh, and those beautiful casket boxes or bonbon boxes / powder boxes with the hinges. Oh my God, that's to die for. I have a bunch of them in my collection, and I'll show you some of the ones in my collection. Well, actually, I won't. I'll just show you ones I find on Google Images really fast.
My grandfather and his 3 siblings were orphans. His sister was young enough that she had to go live with family. So she went to live with her mother's first cousin in a house in Pensacola, Florida. When she died, she was the last of the family member to live in that house, and my dad and his brother inherited the house and its contents, and this was part of it.
And did your family do something else with this?
At some point early, I suspect in the 1900s, my mom says when electricity became popular in homes, they had it wired to be a lamp. And they did not actually drill a hole in the bottom. The wire for the electricity came out the top. But she didn't like it as a lamp, so she got rid of that, put it on the piano and as a vase. And it's been mine for about 20 years.
If they had actually drilled the bottom of this, or if there had been damage done for making it into a lamp, you and I wouldn't even be having this conversation.
Okay.
What do you think it's made out of?
Well, we thought it was porcelain, and the gentleman at the very beginning of the day said, no, that's glass. Here's your ticket. So the truth is, I have absolutely no clue of anything.
The interesting part about this is that this was made to look like Royal Worcester porcelain.
Okay.
And this was made by the Mount Washington Glass Company, and at this point they were located in New Bedford, Massachusetts.
Okay.
And when it was first introduced in 1886, it was called Albertine, and it was supposed to compete with Royal Worcester. So this is made out of white opal glass, but they put a satin finish on it to make it look like porcelain. So it would easily be mistaken. You didn't find any mark that said Albertine on it, did you?
No.
Okay. January 1893 to change the name from Albertine to Crown Milano. So we know when they started marking it like this, it has to be from 1893 on. So the way it is decorated, it's an enamel decoration. A stencil was used. So you have the rich enamel in the foreground depicting the boats and the sails, and then a very faint gray paint or enamel in the background depicting Venice. And then to enhance it, you have the raised gilded design sort of framing it in these little vignettes. In a retail shop, it would bring between $2,000 and $3,000.
Wonderful. I'm not going to sell it. It's going to go back in my cabinet.
Before and after, I was really glad I was able to fix this bottle. Oh my God. Isn't it just absolutely beautiful? And again, people mistake this for porcelain. It's not porcelain. It's like an opalescent glass that has a satin finish over it. Look at the beautiful gills work and the raised design of the iris. Quite lovely. Now, I was able to find a couple of examples on the internet. Almost always, they're missing the atomizer bulb or the actual whole entire mechanism. Really sad. This is either a Wave Crest, Crown Milano, Mount Washington piece, but Mount Washington did buy out Wave Crest. So a lot of them aren't even marked on the bottom. They marked it with some kind of like light paint or marker, and 9 times out of 10, it's worn off. It's been used so much that you don't see the marking, or they used to put labels on it. The labels long fell off. Here's another one, and this one is a Mount Washington. And of course, what is it missing? It is missing the freaking bulb. Why? Because they disintegrate. They're made out of Goodyear tires. Actually, the Goodyear Rubber Company was around in the 1800s making rubber, and they didn't have cars yet. And these rubber atomizers turn to stone, literally stone, or they just crumble. They crumble like a cookie, and so that's why a lot of these bottles don't have their tops or atomizers. And here's another one, really quite beautiful. Look at the beautiful painting and sateen look. Although it is glass, it looks like porcelain. Somebody changed the top. Yep, with a 1920s top. I can completely tell. And guess what? It doesn't lower the value. Because we know as perfume collectors that most of these tops are missing, or the bulb atomizers are long disintegrated. And yet, here we go. Here's another example of a beautiful Mount Washington or Wave Crest perfume bottle. I am not an expert, but I do know it's either one of those 2 companies. Look at that. Lovely stopper, lovely gild work. And yet another one being erroneously sold as English, and it's not English. We can tell it's either Mount Washington or Wave Crest. Well, I can tell. And the rarity. It has its original bulb. Can you see that? Look at that Aladdin Genie style top. That's how you know you got the 1890s. And yet, I did find another example to show you guys. CF Monroe, Wave Crest, Mount Washington. What is it missing? Yep, you guessed it. The bulb atomizer, which probably crumbled like a cookie. And here we have another one with a replaced top, with a replaced atomizer and hose. Now, crazy. I found another example of the same bottle as mine. It sold for $495. Here's another one by the same company, missing the atomizer again. They're always missing the damn atomizer. Now, I just wanted to show you quickly, CF Monroe, Wave Crest, Mount Washington. This is the CF Monroe versions. And look at these beautiful boxes they made. Really beautifully painted. And it does look like porcelain, but it's glass. And yet another one. My God, look at the prices of some of these. You can get some of these boxes without the feet and without the fancy for about $50 to $80 on eBay. But in this example, we got a rare Helmschmied swirl design with the feet, and it makes it $12.75. Yeah, 1,275 doll hairs. Here's another rare one, opalware. That's what I meant to call it before. I called it opalescent. Opalware glass and Wavecrest CF Monroe, $1,995. This held people's shirt collars in it and cuffs. And they didn't just make boxes, boys and girls. They made letter holders. I have the same exact one in my collection, and I got it for $10 on eBay. It's worth about $500. That was a good score. And here's another example of the Helmschmied swirl. Helmschmied was a designer for Wavecrest who made this swirl design right up on the top of the boxes and bottoms. Really nice. 875 freaking doll hair. And yet we got another Wavecrest box, and it's just stunning. Look at those flowers. Yeah, it's only $1,250. And First Fibs, I call it First Fibs, not First Dibs, is selling this box for $1,200. This is the egg crate style top. And they were beautiful, beautiful pieces. And it always looks like porcelain, but it's glass. Here's some other ones you'll see. Again, mostly a lot of boxes. Collectors look for boxes because they can't really find too many of the perfume bottles. And yet, here's some more beautiful, beautiful designs. You can see a lot of this, believe it or not, at the end, the top one here on the top right is a stencil design. Towards the end of their production, when they started to really not sell as much and they were starting to go out of business, they would use stencil designs. Before that, they would do a lot of hand-painted work. And they employed a lot of ladies doing this. And before we go, here's a couple of more designs of Wavecrest boxes. Now, again, Mount Washington did buy them out. And sometimes it's hard to tell if you have Wavecrest, if it's unmarked, or Mount Washington. Unless you're a really, 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 like, big expert in this type of glass, it's hard to tell. Here we go. We have a biscuit barrel for $899 by Mount Washington. Really lovely, lovely glass. And this one is a salt or pepper shaker. Yeah, that's a very expensive salt or pepper shaker. $500? No, I'm never buying that one. And here's some more example of Mount Washington glass. You can see the beautiful painted designs. Yeah, $1,548. Yeah, I'm not paying $1,548. I'll look for my sleepers on eBay for unsuspecting sellers who don't do their research. So I don't have to pay $1,050 for a piece like this. I'd rather pay $40 hairs. Actually, I paid $16 for my bottle, so I'm actually ahead of the game. So once again, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys all soon on the next one. I was so glad I was able to save this and actually bring it back to its former glory. And watch me, if you haven't already subscribe to me. If you're seeing this from TikTok, go to my profile page, and you'll see my my actual YouTube URL. Copy and paste it in your browser. If not, I don't think it's clickable. But follow me on YouTube. I have thousands and thousands and thousands of videos about antiques, me restoring most of them because I find them for cheap that way. And I'm not an expert restorationist, but I try my best. And I always do my best, but I'm not always successful. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one.